There are way too many sleeves in this studio. It is too hot for this many sleeves in here.
Summer break, man.
I need some more linen. I need to start getting some reusable cottons in here.
It's up to you, man. You can wear whatever you want.
I need to start getting some deep, one of those like the racer back tank tops that ladies wear, the ones that are like all just like crossing your back.
Oh,
I want that zero fabric tank top right now.
Yeah, you definitely need to wear those when we go back to video.
It is way too dense of just humid out here. The humidity that's the best word to describe it in this summertime weather. It is just dense.
It is.
The fucking
it's
air
only
is dense.
It's only like 87 out right now, and it is just goddamn miserable.
87 going on 138. It's just, good God, it is
the sweat.
It is so dense. It's so wet. It's sticky. There is nothing on my hands. They are sticky.
There's nothing on them.
There's nothing on my hands, but they are sticky. Not doing anything. I took a shower before I came here. My hands are sticky.
Listen, summer's rough everywhere, southern part of the United States. Honestly, though, the North, they have hot summers, too.
Yeah, especially when it's on fire.
What are you doing up there? You have hot summers and cold winters? What are you doing?
Listen, we just have, what we have, like, we have first summer, then we have second extended summer. It's like the Lord of the Rings cut of the summer.
Well, we have fake summer. Are you ready? Well, you better be ready because, bam, it's summer.
Yeah, that's what I say. Then we have that extended edition.
Exactly.
Where you think summer is going to, it'll probably be done by, late July, early August. And summer's like, what did you say? I'm not going anywhere.
Don't be ridiculous.
Listen, we have the director's cut coming.
Man, I've seen a lot of wildlife out this summer, too.
Yeah, dude,
Seriously.
me too.
I saw some black bear shit on a trail that I hadn't been on in a while.
Ooh.
Right in the middle of it. He's seriously trying to send me a message.
He's just like, I see where you walk every day.
Right in the middle of it.
That's like a horse head in your bed.
Pretty much.
I'm showing you I'm here. I know where you walk. I'm showing you I'm here. I'm letting you know I'm your new neighbor.
I had my dog Merle with me, and he was freaking out. His hair was immediately up. He's like looking around.
He just sniffs it. He's like, that ain't from me, dog. That's
that's
way bigger than me.
I didn't yeah, for real. I didn't get down there and feel the heat on that or nothing, but it looked pretty damn fresh to me.
Yeah, just
I wasn't going to wait.
Just poke it with a stick next time. It's like, ooh, that's still squishy. Let's get out of here.
Squishy. Ooh, look at that steam. Get out of here.
Ooh, I broke the seal right there. Ooh, that stinks. Let's get out of here. Well, Michael, you're giving me a great segue for our first story. I mean, you 100%. You are just setting me up to just out the park on this one. Because Michael, this could have been you. Our first story could have been you.
It could have.
It sounds like you. It sounds like your life right here.
Oh, great.
If you were a 64-year-old Maine woman, this would just be you.
I would be so mad if I lived in Maine.
Way up there, huh?
It's too far, man.
Way up there, huh?
No, but go ahead.
A Maine woman punches a bear that chased her dog and ends up with stitches. I mean, yeah, you're going to end up with stitches. You fucking decided to bare knuckle a bear.
She loved that dog, okay? That's all I got to say.
When I read this story, all I could think of, it was that lady who had the pet. The pet got out. Remember the pet bear? We were just like, Sherry, it's a bear.
Sherry.
We told you, keep it on a leash. It can climb the fence.
That picket fence is never going to hold it, Sherry.
It's goddamn chain link. It's got claws.
You got no electric wire or nothing. It's just not going to work.
Have you not seen Jurassic Park? That's the first thing I thought was, I was like, God damn it, Sherry's bear got out again.
God damn it, Sherry.
He's trying to get in this lady's garden. Because in Porter, Maine, a Maine woman was bitten by a bear in her backyard while defending her pet dog, necessitating a trip to the hospital. But Lynn Kelly, 64, was tending garden in Porter when her dog took off into the woods barking at something. And that's why I was like, that would be Merle in a heartbeat.
Oh,
just
sure.
Taking off. Doesn't care what it is. He's like, I saw something. I'm going to go see what it is. I'll come back and tell you. Or I won't, actually.
Yeah. Oh, he's going to be moving when he sees that.
He's just coming back. We got to go.
Every man for themselves.
I thought you was fast.
Right. We get a chariot for that damn dog.
Get a rickshaw.
Latch him to it. Yeah, freaking rickshaw.
Have him rickshaw me down around there. Yeah, but Lynn Kelly was out there, and her dog took off into the woods, and in a short order, the dog came racing back to the yard with a black bear in hot pursuit.
Uh-oh.
Kelly stood and tried to make herself appear large, which is recommended when a black bear has encounters. I think it's like isn't it brown is play dead, and it's black is like try and beef or fight it or whatever.
Yeah, it's kind of like black bear. You have a chance, right? If you have like a foghorn, some,
they're easy to startle.
If you're really loud, but if it's a brown bear, you're fucked.
And if it's on cocaine,
oh man, if it's a grizzly, man,
if it's on cocaine,
just hope it doesn't decide to kill you. That's what you do. Like,
hopefully you have more cocaine. It will trade you.
It will trade you.
I've seen it. It will trade.
Life if you have enough cocaine.
But Kelly tried to make herself large and tried to threaten the bear and try and scare it off. But instead of slowly retreating, she proceeded to confront the bear, which is not recommended.
Never recommended. Do
you're
not
supposed
confront the bear.
You're supposed to stand up, make yourself appear big, maybe back away a few steps, or just like sidestep. You don't start kind of chesting out at it like what? Come on! I feel like you. It's one of those moments
something at it, right?
Yeah, it's just one of those moments I feel like a street fight when someone took their shirt off for no reason. Like, this is what you just did right now.
That's
like
what you did.
That bear was like...
You just escalated it.
Yeah,
You take the shirt off, it's like, I might as well punch you. We're going to fight now, apparently.
I guess I got to hit you now. It's either that or you're going to keep getting naked.
Right? Either way, it's getting weird.
Either way, I'm going to jail. But the bear briefly latched onto Kelly's wrist after she punched the animal on the nose, and she received stitches from the wound. So apparently she threw the first punch.
Well, listen.
You're the instigator here, Kelly.
You deserve to get bit.
That bear bit you out of defense.
You're being a real bully right now.
Exactly. That bear was defending itself.
Right?
Where are those bear attorneys we talked about? Because this right here...
Bear law.
This is bear crime right here. You people have been discriminating against these city bears. We are about to have some suit-wearing, court-attending bears out here.
I got this weird theory that, the more people stay inside, the more, like, screens and, media is introduced in all of its many forms, the less time people spend outside, right? The less time people spend out on their properties. And I think animals are just like, hey, well, if you're not out here... I'm going to keep on coming a little closer.
They've seen that in a lot of those areas.
Just go to a regular city park. You can tell, like, compared to, like, 10 years ago, no one's at the freaking parks, man.
They've seen that in, like, studies with campgrounds, where, like, the campground areas used to be a lot more populated with people going camping a lot, and now they're not as heavily trafficked.
They're sitting in their RV watching Netflix.
Well, it's like, now they're not as heavily trafficked, and even if they are, they're in, like you said, RVs, they're inside AC, and they're glamping it up.
Yep.
And now there's just, you're looking outside, you're like, oh, look, so-and-so's barbecuing. That bear's taking away his child. Like, should have offered him a steak. I told you, they always want the T-bone.
That's right. T-bone for a child. I mean, it's a fair trade.
But yeah, you just start seeing both. You just start seeing wild animals walk through these campgrounds because they're like, I guess nobody's here anymore. Yeah. Just like the Last of Us, like those apocalyptic shows where nature just starts taking back over. They're like, I guess if nobody's coming out, I mean,
they're definitely getting closer.
We live out here, so
yeah,
that garage looks pretty cool. I'm gonna go check it out. If I'm a bear, it looks like a cave. I'm just gonna say.
You guys ever seen Over the Hedge?
Yeah, every bear's just thinking
underrated DreamWorks movie right there.
That cave has a door,
right?
It goes up and down. I gotta get one of those.
That's nice.
I'm taking that one.
I'm taking that one.
I don't think that creature right there could take me.
Right. Be like the bear from Open Season.
Exactly.
Lives in the garage.
That's what I'm saying. These bears are all just walking through these bears are just strolling through the suburbs now, just fucking actually real estate shopping at this point. Just being like, oh, look at that. That's a 2-car. You could fit 4 or 5 cubs in that one.
Well, man, also where they're building these housing developments, right? And then like these people are moving in who are used to city living, and they're living in a housing development where there's nothing around but forest for, so many square miles. Like, you got to ride 30 minutes to a Walmart or whatever, but you live in what looks like a cookie-cutter neighborhood.
Exactly, yeah.
The animals are still there.
Yeah, they just all live on they're just into backyards now going like, hey, I used to live, like, there.
Right over there.
Yeah, my couch, that's still my nest, actually. It's in your backyard now.
Move your foundation and all of that.
If you could move your pool. Actually, leave the pool. We actually took a vote. The pool sounds nice, actually.
But move the small storage shed. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, can you make it a freshwater pool, actually? Keep the filtration system going.
Salt water?
We got a crew of beavers. They can keep this thing going.
Oh, shit.
But yeah, it's like when I first read this, that's all I could think of was our previous story. But I also thought, I'm like, this woman just made me, like, Kelly, this right here is a sturdy gal. This is what this woman went fucking toe to toe with a bear.
She sounds like she has nothing to lose.
Apparently, all she had to lose was his dog, and apparently the dog was just like, "Hey, we got to go," and she was like, "Hey, you better man up." The dog was like, "You better fucking go."
Have you seen it? It's a bear.
It's a bear. It lives down the street. We've told her to.
Right? It's a bear, Kelly.
Kelly, you need to go. Listen, I know I'm man's best friend, but
Right.
there is a line, all right?
Right?
I'll take a bullet for you, not a bear.
Right?
A bullet's quick. That's going to eat me.
Bears are going to start like grooming dogs to be their best friend. They'll be like, you did come from us.
Like,
Probably. I mean, look, we're like ancestrally connected.
yeah, like you guys are like
Look
our
at
neighbors.
snouts.
We're
Look
like
at-
cousins.
Yeah, we're cousins. Wouldn't you rather work for us?
Look, we got fur, you got fur,
bears
we
get
got
dogs.
claws, you got claws. We poop in the woods, you poop in the yard. The same thing.
If bears get dogs on their side, we're fucked, man.
Yeah,
We
we
can't
got
let that happen.
bears and wolves out there.
You gotta start treating our dogs good. Protect your dogs from bears. Way to go, Kelly.
Next thing you see a bunch of chihuahuas riding into battle on the back of grizzly bears.
Oh god.
They can be the angry jockeys on the back of.
They just all jump off the last minute and grab your ankles and hold you where you can't move.
Yeah, they're gonna be like the suicide bombers that jump off at the last minute, just But yeah,
insult to
it's
injury.
rare for someone to be bitten by a bear in Maine, even though the state has one of the largest black bear populations. But apparently, most people know that either you make yourself known or you get the fuck out of there. Like you,
Right.
But yeah, you don't try to. You don't decide at this point. You just crack your knuckles and say, "This is the day."
Yeah.
Like I've been waiting for this.
Like chin up, bitch.
That's when you realize she was a Packers fan all along.
Yeah.
She was like, "Oh, my uncles are never going to fucking believe it."
Not in my fucking yard.
Got my Rogers jersey on.
Oh my god.
This is gonna be great at Thanksgiving.
Right.
But yeah, she ended up, like I said, like counters usually are most likely bears going through garbage or pet foods or just going to a backyard and just knocking on the window, be like, "You gonna finish that? No, oh you are? Okay. Sorry.
Cool.
I saw there was a story recently about it was last year about some giant bear called Frank the Tank going through some like Midwest neighborhood
Oh my
constantly. He
God.
was like a 400 or 500 pound bear. He was massive.
Jesus.
There's some pictures. I'm about to look them up and post them on social media. But it was like, yeah, these bears are just wandering through neighborhoods now, and they're gonna come into your back. If you're just hanging out back there, just a single woman in your backyard gardening out and way up there in Maine,
Well,
huh?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was chasing the dog.
Yeah, well, the
you know,
dog chased it first.
Well, I know. I'm
Yeah.
just saying. But that's why the bear came chasing. It was probably like, oh shit, a human.
Yeah, and still the
Okay,
thing, the bear, like you got up, you started to threaten the bear, and the bear, it doesn't sound like the bear came at you.
Yeah, the bear was like, okay, well, I didn't realize this dog had an owner. I thought this was going to be an easy snack. Okay,
Yeah.
apparently not.
Okay, sorry. Hey.
I'm going to step up. Did
Listen.
you just punch me in the face?
Listen, you need to just keep him on a leash. He was talking shit, okay? Next time I won't be so forget. Hey, why are you coming over here?
Don't come over here.
Don't come over here, Karen.
Don't come over here.
You fucking Karen. That's what he did. You punched him in the face. He bit you in the arm. He's like, "I'll teach your ass."
Yep. decked him right
Next
in the
time it'll
face.
be your leg. I'm taking it.
It's crazy that the bear didn't bite through or break her arm.
Yeah, the bear luckily just gave you a warning bite, apparently.
Yeah,
Like, it just sent
seriously.
you to get some stitches, and luckily it didn't send you to get a prosthetic.
Yeah, but black bears aren't massive.
No,
either,
but they still could. Yeah, a black bear could still
I
take
still
a
don't want to
hand.
get bit by one.
Yeah, it
Don't
still
get me
could take a
wrong.
finger and know
Hell yeah.
easily. Luckily, that bear just gave you a nip. Like,
Yeah.
don't hit me, bitch.
Yeah.
Like, I can kill you.
Yeah.
Let's not try it. I
Right.
see you're not packing a gun.
Right.
You're not Jason Bourne. Let's back off now. But yeah, I think she's gonna make a full recovery. She says that she did just get like stitches onto her wrist. There was no serious damage so far,
Okay.
and apparently the bear is probably fine. I'm guessing the bear is no longer gonna come into that yard. But I bet that
Yeah.
bear's looking for that dog again. He's like, "Come back out of here.
Right.
Try it
He's
again."
gonna fuck him up just out of spite now.
Yeah, Karen's not gonna be
never gonna
around
for-
next time.
That punch was embarrassing. You know how many of his bear friends probably saw that punch?
They're like, "And you didn't kill her?
Why does your face smell like a human hand?
Why's your eye all swollen?
Why are you all swollen? You can't-
Why does it smell like Bath and Body Works?" Did you get hit with a freshly moisturized palm?
Right. Oh shit.
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah, he's getting.
"I
he's
bet you
getting
killed her,
teased.
didn't you?
Yep.
Why, you want to take us to the rest of the body? We'd love a snack." "Oh no, I totally ate every bit of her. Not
Every
even
bit of
not even a drop of blood left. It's
Nope.
just like a snake."
That's right.
That's not how we
What?
eat.
we never do that, man.
This guy was embarrassed. Yeah,
Oh,
hopefully
yeah.
no bear saw this, but like I
Right.
said, if he
Poor
has
bear.
to, there are some bears waiting to represent him in the court of law.
That's exactly right.
There's
we
a- there's a-
specialize in bear law. Actually.
It's a bear law. They're highly
That's right.
educated in the Great Smoky University.
That's right.
They know only they can prevent bear crime.
Hey, it's right there in the name.
Dean Smoky. But yeah, Michael,
shit.
like I said, that could have been you. You live out here in the fucking wilderness. You got bears coming
Still
up here.
could be, man. I'm keeping up hope.
I'm
Have a
keeping
good
up hope.
bear punching story. I could die after that.
Listen, if
really.
you find a cub and you can get it, let's just give it. Just hand it over.
You're
I
gonna
want a
raise
pet
the cub?
bear. I want a pet bear.
I don't think you could do that in your neighborhood.
In my
Andy.
subdivision.
I
Listen,
think your neighbors will catch on pretty damn quick.
listen, it's a Chinese Tibetan Mastiff. What are you guys
yeah,
talking
what are you
about?
talking about? Common misconception. I know.
Andy, it's a bear.
All right.
But enough
yeah,
about bears
enough
right
about
now.
bears.
They'll be here sooner than we think.
Yeesh. Hope they're still bearing with us through this 15-minute rant about
Yeah,
bears.
bear with us here, guys.
Yeah, seriously.
For our next story, I do have a bit of a real life horror story.
Uh-oh.
Like this is probably the darkest 4th of July type story I found because there was I did see
be a great
that
segue.
guys we didn't even start this episode off properly by saying that it is like we are recording this right after the 4th of July.
We are.
So hopefully everybody had a good celebration, got to be safe, nobody lost any fingers.
Right.
Nobody had any real dramatic incidences or anything like that. But yeah, hopefully everybody came out, had a good celebration. But there was a lot of stories about a very high spike in mass shootings and murders on the 4th of July.
Uh-huh.
So I did see an overwhelming amount of mass shootings. I think there was like 16 mass shootings on the 4th of July alone. So, but this right here was, this happened on July 2nd, but I just saw the story right after the 4th of July.
Uh-huh.
And this right here was the darkest thing I could have imagined over this holiday. Because a man steals a forklift at Lowe's and ran over a 73-year-old outside of a Home Depot.
Why are these two are that close together?
I mean, you keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
Right. I mean, typically they are kind of close, but forklift driving close?
Forklift driving close? You got some off-road tires on that bitch?
Seriously. I'm sorry. A man was killed here, but carry on.
Oh yeah, this is like a real horror story. And yes, the headline is a bit confusing because it's like it does sound like this is a personal war between the hardware stores almost, like a Lowe's versus Home Depot
is
death
this
match.
A typo in the thing, or
No, this is really what happened. A 20-year-old has been arrested in the killing of a woman in a Home Depot parking lot in Maryland. Because around 12:40 a.m. on July 2nd, deputies with the Charles County Sheriff's Office were dispatched to a Lowe's home improvement store in Waldorf on reports of a theft. But apparently the person who was breaking in stole their forklift and rammed it through the rear gates.
Holy shit.
So this is one hell of a shoplift right here.
Right.
But also it's 12:40 a.m. How many people were still at Lowe's? Like at 12:40 a.m. How late is Lowe's open? This is like an all-night Lowe's?
Whoa. That's a good point.
Yeah, for real. What were you? Hey, we were in the process of stealing from the...
No, wait. The Lowe's was closed.
Yeah, I was just thinking like the employees being there.
Depot.
Yeah, they were both closed at this point. I'm assuming, but I was just imagining people being there and being like, "Hey, we got somebody trying to get in our forklift. Yeah, he's trying to get out the back gate. It's locked. Nope, he's out. Yep, he's out.
He said he was forklift certified. We don't know. But
he showed us the certification. Actually, I couldn't really argue with him.
Right, and he appears he is. I mean, look how far he's already made it.
Look at he is in and out of those cones right there. He went right around those cars. Hadn't touched a thing. Look at that turning radius on that thing.
He's carrying a smart car with him right now. He lifted that very clean.
Like I said, none of us were actually forklift certified, so technically he is our superior. We couldn't say no. This is a Lowe's.
He had a card.
He had a card. But a 20-year-old has been arrested after this because Bryce Caleb Brown of Waldorf is accused of breaking into the Lowe's, stealing a forklift, and ramming it through the gate. He then made his way down the road about a half a mile east of Lowe's to a Home Depot parking lot. I was imagining, is there like a police chase? Was it like a slow police chase or anything? Because I don't believe there was. Because this is where this horrific scene then unfolded. Gloristine Pinkney, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. Gloristine Pinkney was 73, was asleep in her car when Brown struck the vehicle with the stolen forklift. Pinkney then got out of her car after the crash and started to try to run away, according to the release. Deputies say Brown followed her on the forklift and ran her over before fleeing the scene in her car.
Holy
Pinkney was found underneath the forklift and pronounced dead on the scene. Deputies said the suspect and victim did not know each other. and that Brown was arrested on July 2nd and charged with the murder and theft, among other charges.
This is insane, man.
That
Imagine
is-
just sitting in your car and then just death comes out
She
of
was
fucking
asleep
nowhere,
in her
man.
car. I mean, yeah, this was a 73-year-old woman, already probably not at the best point in her life. If you're sleeping in a Home Depot parking lot at 73 years old in your car, I mean, this probably isn't, this wasn't like your first option.
Right, obviously.
But yeah, so this is already somebody who's probably not at the best part in their life, and this is just a maniac. This is like a Batman villain. This is like a Joker-esque crime. Just
Seriously.
a forklift coming in, probably breaking through the windows or something. Like you're just waking up to literally, it's like your car is being put into just like a crusher. But you were in a parking lot. You went to sleep in a Home Depot parking lot and woke up to a killdozer. So that
Pretty
is
much.
So that is genuinely terrifying. And then the fact that, yes, she got out of the car because I'm sure he was, ramming the car or trying to lift it.
He could have been sticking the forks through the car, like.
Oh yeah, those forks would go right through those
they'll
doors,
go right through the door,
right through the windows, through the doors.
Hell
And
yeah.
a forklift. It depends on what size car that was. That forklift could have lifted that car right over.
Yeah.
You got a strong
Depending on
enough
what size it
forklift
is,
and a
yeah.
small enough car, that thing is flipping like Andre the Giant at a table.
Yeah. And I still think it could flip it over. It could grab one side, even if it's a regular forklift, and flip it over, which may be in what he was doing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's why she had to get out.
Yeah, this guy was definitely threatening her. But then not only did he got her out of the vehicle, but he chased her down in a forklift. I don't know if you've driven forklifts as well as I have. Some of those things can go.
Oh, yeah, they can go.
Some of those things can get.
Yeah. I worked at a warehouse one time, and they had these Toyota forklifts, and those things would scat, dude.
Mm-hmm.
When it rained out on the docks, you could literally drift in those mofos.
Oh,
those
yeah.
Things were fast.
I used to see guys whipping through brewery warehouses, just cutting
And you always know
corners
some
and
of them are
stuff.
faster than others. Everybody tried to get the fastest forklifts.
Yeah, some of them got the electric forklifts. Some of them got the propane-powered ones and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And propane ones, them get some power to
Yeah,
them.
propane.
And propane
Power
propane
on the spot
accessories.
right there.
Whoa. Yeah, I saw forklifts they are way faster than people think. They're not like they're not like a backhoe. They're not like a bulldozer.
They're
that's
most
like,
likely faster than a 73-year-old woman. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah, they're not. It's not like a construction piece of equipment. It's not something that you see creeping across a construction site that also has the power to lift heavy things.
Right.
This thing is designed to get across a warehouse back to the truck as quickly as possible without dropping it.
Yeah.
So they want to be faster than a person on foot and be able to lift heavier things. So these things can go. And he just crushed her with the forklift and left her under it. Like they don't say
that
what
is
if
so-
this sounds like something that's like a bath salts killing in Florida or like a
Yeah,
Batman villain.
It really does. It sounds like something from a comic book or something.
Or just a horrific like murder like detective movie, like one of those dark like serial killer movies with a gritty detective as to this is the case that broke him or something. Like this is one of those cases where you're like, we were responding to a stolen forklift and good God.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah, we
this
found the
is
forklift.
We found the forklift. Luckily, they were able to find Brown very quickly, and he was booked into the Charles County Detention Center.
Good Jesus Christ! But he's probably just going to go to dang psych ward.
Yeah, they don't seem to have any kind of
do something like
details
this.
about his mental state or any kind of intoxication, but that does not seem like a right state of mind.
No.
Stranger killing.
Right.
Like you had the car. Like she got out of the car, left it. You could have just jumped in and gone. This seems like not in the sane state of mind anymore.
And they confirmed they didn't know each other, right? Well, at least according to him.
Yeah, according to him, they didn't know each other. This just seemed like he just found a car, which is it's so strange that he drove right to a Home Depot. Like it is
know,
weird.
right? That's what
That
I'm
makes it
saying.
seem like it's some weird like Home Depot versus Lowe's prank almost.
It definitely helps the headline, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
Because apparently there are like real there's always been drama between the hardware stores. There's always been
Of course.
the hardware mafia is always coming after people. But the mom and pop shops never stood a chance.
Never stood a chance.
Never stood a chance against big hardware.
Big hardware. Oh my God.
But yeah, this was like I saw so many like some dark stories over the 4th of July holiday, but this right here so far was just the scariest thing I could have imagined for someone who was, like I said, already probably not in the best part of their life.
Right.
And asleep in a parking lot and then gets crushed by a forklift. Not even still in your car. Got out, tried to run away. Here's the car, take it. I'm going. and he chased her down. That's scary as hell to me. I've slept in
really
parking lots
is.
before. Like,
Yeah.
I've slept in many a parking
yeah.
lot. I've done some road trips, and I've just been, roading with a band way too late. We're like, we're just going to sleep in this parking lot.
Yep.
Find the lights or find the
Yep.
lighted place.
Yep.
So yeah, it's always a scary thing to have to sleep out there in a public place like that, not like a rest area or a campground, but a
Right.
parking lot's already a scary place, and that's never something you imagine. Because even if you're someone who like sleeps with a gun or sleeps with a weapon in your car, when you wake up to a forklift getting your car, your brain has got to be just.
What the hell?
Yeah, am I dreaming? Am I dead already?
Right.
Am I in a crusher? Like, can I get out?
Right.
Like, yeah,
And like I said, you think he was looking for someone in a car just to fuck with, and she just happened to be the first one he saw.
Maybe. I mean, he did go like about a half a mile down the road, so it wasn't super far. I mean, a half mile is not that far in a forklift,
No.
but either way, I mean, I guess this may have been the first parking lot with cars he saw in it still, like a big
that's what I'm
parking lot that
saying.
still had
And
cars.
he was looking for a car to mess with, but of course, cars going down the road are moving too fast,
And they're all avoiding him.
Yeah, exactly. So, man, it's crazy that she didn't just crank it up and leave.
Yeah, that's what I say.
I mean,
The fear, because I'm sure that
That's
she
why
wasn't
I
sleeping
think-
with the car running.
That's why I think maybe he had the forks underneath the car, because if he had them up underneath the car when he originally rammed it, you wouldn't be able to.
Yeah.
Imagine if he rammed it on the driver's side. Even,
Yeah.
you
Or
know?
if he rammed those forks through the windows on the side, and now you just have
Yeah.
the forks through the roof of your car.
God.
You can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, I could see how she probably had to climb out or go out the passenger
Yeah,
door or
that's a good
something.
point.
But yeah, like, he got what he came for, and yet he still crushed this elderly woman with a forklift. Like, I've seen some gnarly forklift
Brutal, man.
injuries, and unfortunately I've seen like an OSHA video of someone getting crushed by a forklift, and there's no surviving that. Those things are counterweighted to lift those
yeah.
things. A forklift may look, smaller than a car. It weighs more.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they are counterweighted with thousands of pounds.
That whole back plate is nothing but solid steel.
Yeah.
Just to counteract whatever it's lifting. Yeah, it's so fucking heavy.
So yeah, those things are like, you can't even pick up a forklift unless you have like a backhoe. Like, they are heavier than they look and they're supposed to be. So it's basically like getting hit with a steamroller to an extent almost.
Yeah.
Like,
that's like one of the worst things. And they're so low to the ground too, man. Gosh, what a horrible way to go. Like
Yeah,
you
this
say,
was
it
the-
is a horror story for real.
I was trying to see.
I hope
was.
she went quick and didn't like suffer underneath that thing, man.
Yeah, I'm glad they caught him very quickly, and I'm glad that they got. Like, I hope that they can say that he was. I hope that there was some mental break, or there was some drug hallucination, there was
Please.
some kind of, instability. Because if that's just pure like spite or pure just random, that's scary. Yeah, that guy need to come back out. But yeah, like I said, this was like there was a lot of stories that were popping around off after the 4th of July holiday, and this one caught my attention. That it just blew the rest of them out of the water. And I wasn't going to sit here and dwell on this darkness for too long, because I do have a couple other stories right here, and one that did pop up over the weekend just made me smile just a little bit too much. Like, I
Okay.
shouldn't have smiled as much as I did, but it's just a little bit too perfect.
Okay.
Because the Secret Service, Michael, the Secret Service of this good country,
Right.
speaking
right.
of America's
course,
birthday,
I've heard of them.
they were investigating a mysterious white powder that was found inside the White House, in the
no.
West Wing, no doubt.
No way.
Turns out,
Never even been in there before, probably.
cocaine.
No way. Did not
Guys,
see that coming.
I'm sorry. You know what? You caught him. You got him.
I mean,
This is-
politicians and cocaine, it's like oil and water, am I right? I mean, they don't
Listen,
even...
illegal
That's
things
crazy.
at the White House, I
Doesn't
have
happen.
never. I have
Never.
like this is purely
could-
fake news.
I couldn't
There
fathom
could
it.
never be something
Why
that
are
is
we even
shady
talking about this?
or criminal or illegal at the White House.
Who published this? BBC? They're just trying to make us feel bad about America.
They're just trying to imagine.
Fuck
Like,
you, BBC.
listen, you got enough opium in your tea houses.
Yeah.
I see what you put in those cups. Those aren't tea leaves, Boris.
know exactly what's going on here.
But the Secret Service is now investigating how cocaine was found at the White House on Sunday night,
indeed?
with visitor logs and footage combed for clues. It's got to be an outside source. It's got to be a visitor who is totally.
I'm sure you guys just can't find the tape.
totally. It seems like the cameras were definitely down, and it's weird. It's just
good thing an assassin didn't come to get the president that day.
Oh man. That's those same cameras they used at the Epstein jail. Look, I knew it. Those things just have a reputation.
That model, I mean, it's just unreliable. I think there was a recall.
Secret Service agents found the powder during a routine inspection in an area that is accessible to tour groups. The area was in the West Wing, which does contain the Oval Office. Mm-hmm. President Joe Biden and his family were at Camp David in Maryland at the time.
Sure.
So, I mean...
They're having a party in the Oval Office.
No, Joe Biden's at Camp David going, God damn it! Jill, I swear, it was in my pocket. It was in my pocket. Jill, no, Jill, it was in my pocket. It was in the breast pocket. Jill, just help me. Jill, look at me, Jill.
I like how you think Joe Biden could even talk that fast.
When he's missing that much cocaine, he...
Not without the cocaine, Andy.
I don't need
no way.
His withdrawals will hit you hard.
That's why he's been falling so much lately.
I just thought, I thought of Russell Brand and Again the Greek, where he was like, I was calm 15 minutes ago with my fingers in your asshole. You don't want to see me in 15 more. Like that was what I imagined Joe Biden just looking at, Hunter, I told you.
Right.
Hunter Biden, goddamn you. Mm-hmm. This is all from your laptop. But a senior law enforcement official told the BBC's U.S. part of the news of the substance was found in a storage facility routinely used by White House staff and guests to store mobile phones. Guys, you know, we have a phone storage for electronics. We have a wallet storage. We have a cocaine room.
Yeah.
It's just off the Lincoln bedroom.
Right. It is complimentary.
Listen, we have Colombian, we have Cuban, we have Paraguay. We have all the different...
per person, please.
Please,
per
guys.
visit.
But the preliminary test later confirmed that substance was indeed cocaine.
What?
The Secret Service will leave a full review of how it got into the White House, and the press secretary said on Wednesday, "We will be absolutely diving to the bottom of this to the bottom of this case. We will be." Right. We will be following every clue to the...
every line.
Every line of evidence, every line of questioning, every line of residue will be swept and snorted for prints.
Snorted. Oh, my God.
Or some Secret Service rookie just fucking left it.
I can't believe they even let this out.
Exactly.
It's so ridiculous that they even let this out. That's what I'm saying.
It's like, if this is the stuff you put out, imagine what you don't put out. That's the conspiracy theory. It's like, if that's what you're going to put out to distract us, imagine what it's like, oh my God, look at this cocaine we found. Close the door, close the fucking door. Look at the cocaine, look at the cocaine.
Right. In reality, that's why they call it the White House.
You thought that was just eggshell.
Right. No, that's where the president lived.
No, that is uncut Colombian white.
It's the greatest cocaine factory in the world, my friend.
Yes, it's a premium. It's an exclusive color. If you look at the side of this house, you will be jazzed. That's why you just see Biden holding on to one of the pillars every once in a while. Just, I can't feel my tongue, Jill.
They made it the finest cocaine.
That's what the paint's made out of. Lead-based, no, Colombian-based.
Thomas Jefferson. Oh, shit.
You should have seen the renovations JFK made in the 60s.
I'm serious. Nice touches.
But yeah, a Secret Service did a full review of all these kind of things, and the White House staff are permitted to give tours to some parts of the West Wing, but I'm guessing they're trying to pin this on a guest or a tourist or a staffer or something, some intern, like, oh, some careless intern must have brought their drugs into our temple of solitude over here.
Right. Yeah.
What millennial is this?
Seriously.
Meanwhile, Lindsey Graham's just over here just chewing on his goddamn tongue like... I've seen these senators. They're not fucking... Half of them can't even make it through a congressional session meeting without dozing off. Yeah, all of them are doing bumps in the fucking bathroom before they go in there to vote on things. Sheesh. Listen, I'm surprised you didn't
stay awake, man.
I'm surprised when you found this baggie of coke, you didn't just go through the line and being like, all right, everybody check your pockets. Who's missing?
Yeah, who's missing it? You?
Who's missing?
No. Last call. I'm going to take it.
Last call.
Take it.
It's a freebie. Going once, going twice. Gone. That was a big bag, sir. Yeah.
Let's get some shit done, America.
Let's talk about Ukraine. It was in one of the cubbies. A source familiar with the White House told them. But so apparently these were the cubbies for people to store things in. But yeah, they're gonna find out who did this pretty quickly. You know, there was just some Secret Service being like, when do I say it was mine? Like how long before I can just like have it back?
I mean,
like
those guys should make enough to.
Can I get it back?
It,
like
right?
if I say it's mine, I apologize. I dropped it. Yes, can I have it back? Like, come on.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was just something that just made me smile just a little bit too much, just to imagine the White House freaking out, like, this illegal substance in our White House? Never. There has never been an ounce of crime in these great halls, these hallowed halls of decision and executive power.
Right. Dude, look at this. I was just curious while you were talking. I was thinking about the Secret Service, and I was like, how much do they make, you know? And it says, according to Glassdoor, $95,000 to $140,000 per year to take a bullet for the president.
That's not enough money. Have you seen the living cost of D.C.? That's a pretty expensive city.
That's an expensive city.
But yeah, and to do the work that you guys do, that's not enough money. That guy took a bullet for Reagan for that crazy guy who was obsessed with Jodie Foster.
The median salary as of November of 2022 is $105,000. That's it.
You better have the benefits like a legacy of a college.
I knew it couldn't be much. I mean, the president technically only makes $400,000, right?
True.
As far as their pay, at least that's what they say. I mean, obviously you make.
That's what their taxes say.
Yeah, exactly. So I knew the Secret Service couldn't be that much more. But it's like,
if
you're in the Secret Service, you got to have so many connections and other ways to make money, right? I mean.
Yeah, I mean, all those guys are probably a lot of like private contractors. They're like they can do bodyguard work probably eventually.
Yeah.
Because once you're done with the Secret Service,
PI stuff.
Because I think if I'm not mistaken, like once the president leaves office, they can actually like handpick a few Secret Service members to like stay on and work for them indefinitely, like as their personal Secret Service.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Secret Service does have other branches. Like you have the White House branch, and then you have its other branches that guard ex-presidential families and, you know, relatives and shit. So yeah, I'm assuming that they have a pretty good like retirement plan for these guys as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know Jimmy Carter's not getting very many assassination attempts anymore, but he's still got bodyguards.
Right.
Because somebody's just not letting time do that.
Yeah.
Who's trying to kill Jimmy Carter?
I know, right?
But yeah, they still give him bodyguards. Yeah, I get that Bush has bodyguards. That guy may have a target.
Yeah, for real.
This White House story just piqued my interest, like I said. Just
all
the weird little headlines all the time of Joe Biden stumbling and he's mumbling. He's not focused. Oh, that man's focused, I'll tell you. He is focused like a motherfucker. He was getting all kinds of shit done in that White House.
Right. Or maybe he forgets his little bag of powder more often than you think. Andy.
Or now he has a really bummed out Camp David weekend.
Yep.
God damn it, I had Zelensky coming in. I had the guys from Cuba coming in as well. Guys, I was supposed to tell the hate ball. Now look at me. Now look at me. I got my dick in my hands and everybody's just staring at me. Well, that's your problem, Joe. We did not tell you to take your pants off.
We did not. Oh, shit.
But yeah, Michael, for our last story, we got one more story, Michael. And this was like, it's a sad story, but it's also just it's a pretty interesting story because I think we've talked about this maybe off air, maybe off camera. But did you hear about, I think it was a few months ago, where a man in, I want to say it was Vancouver, he opened a store that was going to sell all drugs. Like he was selling cocaine, heroin, methamphetamine, but they were all tested and clean and like safe. It was kind of like those things we talked about in, New York City where they have the safe needle exchanges and places for people to shoot up drugs.
Yeah.
It was kind of like that. Because this guy made headlines last month where he opened a store that was going to sell all forms of drugs, and it was shut down the very same day. Like, yes, obviously.
Yeah.
But Jerry Martin opened a store in Vancouver because he wanted to give people access to clean drugs and challenge Canadian drug laws. So if you guys remember these headlines earlier in the year. But sadly, the man who opened a store selling heroin and cocaine has actually died from an overdose. And I do believe that this story is going to get a bit more traction as it goes because there's a few things that just seem a bit, suspicious. They seem a bit off. They seem a bit, MK Ultra-esque or just conspiracy theory-esque with this whole
Right.
situation.
Okay.
Jerry Martin died in Vancouver on Friday, a few days after he was hospitalized due to a suspected fentanyl overdose, according to his partner, Krista Thomas. He was 51 years old. Although Martin survived the initial overdose, he remained unresponsive in a hospital, and his family eventually had to take him off of life support. But he had previously told Vice News that he had been addicted to cocaine and had been homeless for much of his youth. Like, he had had a very rough upbringing and rough young part of his life.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy was he was one of those people who was out to help people. He wanted to give people, like addicts or, people who were struggling, a safe place to use what they were going to use and not be, ostracized for it or judged too harshly for it or made to feel like they were the pieces of trash and things.
Right, right.
So he believed that people were self-medicating their trauma, and so long as they were doing that, they needed a safe supply to do that. He's like, you can't just fix addiction. You can't
Right.
just fix drugs. You can't fix that part of the human anatomy. So until you can fix it, one of the best solutions we can offer is to make sure that the substance they're going to use is as safe as it can possibly be.
Yeah.
Like that it's not going to kill them.
I agree with that. To wean people off, and if they're truly have that as their goal, I feel like that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
These areas, but I mean, if you run a drug store, how interested are you in people getting off of these hard substances?
Yeah, I can understand that you under like the capitalism like propaganda or the capitalism argument. It's like, well, yeah, you're still pushing the problem, but you're not actually fixing the problem. He's like, yeah, I think in his mind he's an old addict, and I can understand his argument where he's saying, listen, I can't
No, me
fix the
too.
problem.
Yeah,
He's like, I can't
definitely.
fix the problem. You
Right.
people can't seem to fix the problem, so I am going to just make sure that they don't die. Yeah, I'll make some money off of it.
Yeah.
But I'm going to make sure that my friends don't die.
But he forgot to make sure he himself doesn't die.
And this is one of the people that there's a lot of questions around his death because he's no more exempt than any other human being on this earth, and he had his own trauma, and unfortunately he had relapsed. But his partner said it wasn't clear if he actually intended to use fentanyl or not because he was not a known opioid user.
Oh.
So if anybody's familiar with addicts and they have any kind of relationships with them, a lot of times addicts do have a drug of choice or a method of choice, uppers, downers.
Right.
They're looking for a certain feeling. And if this guy was more of a cocaine user, he was more of a accelerant. He was an upper. He wanted to be going.
Yeah.
Opioids don't do that for you. I mean, yes, opioids can help bring you down after a cocaine high after a while,
Right.
but so that would be the only thing that may have been mixed up. But this guy was a pretty expert drug user, to say the least. Like this guy was a seasoned drug user.
Right.
But in May, this is when they opened the Drugs Store, the first brick and mortar shop in Canada and the U.S., openly selling drugs that had been tested to ensure they did not contain fentanyl or any other harmful adulterants. He was arrested within 24 hours of the store opening in downtown Vancouver. And this is what he said during that time. He said, I'm giving them addictive drugs, but I'm giving them a safer addictive drug. Then you can go out on the street and find somewhere else where it might be laced with fentanyl or some other drug. They said he did want to save lives. And yeah, when you see his picture, there's a lot of people who've seen his mugshot or his picture and they're like, oh, this guy's just a junkie himself. And that's people, judging a book by its cover.
Right.
Yeah, you do see him in a bulletproof vest and he's got neck tattoos and piercings. And yeah, he's probably a pretty cool dude, honestly.
But also, he's planning on running a drugstore. I mean, I think I would wear a bulletproof vest too.
Yeah,
This
you
is
would goddamn see me in the
independent
Juggernaut
drugstore.
armor from Call of Duty just behind the counter like, what do you want?
You'd see me. I'd just phone in and be a screen you talk to. Your shit slides out of a tray.
Yeah, just a whole
Behind bulletproof
bulletproof.
glass.
Yeah. But there's been a very big 3-year project to try and decriminalize small amounts of drugs in British Columbia, but selling still does remain illegal. So they did arrest him on selling these drugs. It wasn't the fact that it was possession. There's still a lot of different small laws about possession and distribution, just like how around the states with marijuana.
Right.
But this guy right here, at the time of his arrest, Vancouver said they supported the harm reduction services, but drug trafficking will still continue to be the subject of enforcement, not the usage, but the trafficking of it.
Okay.
Which I understand, but that's one of those things where it's like, yeah, you just get mad at the money. You're just mad because people are making money off of it. You don't
Yeah.
care about the use because you're like, yeah, fuck them, but somebody else is making money off of it.
Yeah, we don't like
now we have a problem with it.
Tax them.
Exactly. We've always said,
Tax
fucking
'em.
tax it. You can tax it.
What's the big deal?
But police had also banned him from returning to the downtown east side. But about a month after his arrest, he told Vice News that he was still planning to reopen in a pop-up store model one day. Which,
Damn.
I mean, I can understand what you're
Yeah,
doing
just
here.
keep it on the move, man. Just buy you like a food truck. and
Yeah.
you just sell drugs.
Just pop up
Yeah,
every once in a
it's a
while, do a
great way
little
to get
underground,
robbed.
little underground marketing, show up at just raves across the country.
Right.
But he was definitely self-sacrificing. Thomas said, and that one of the things she'll miss about him was the fact that he was a little crazy, he was a little fun, but well, he knew that he was giving a risk to fulfilling his vision more than anything. He felt that it was his thing to do, and he felt that what he had left to do in this world. But there's a lot of questions about the fact that, like, yeah, this was a very regular drug user. This was a seasoned, experienced drug
so
user.
people are saying there's no way this guy would overdose. Is
That like
basically
it
what they're
doesn't seem
saying?
like he would
people close to
accidentally use fentanyl. That he would like a guy who's like publicly talking about how he has all these testing kits. He's trying to get testing for all these other drugs. He's making sure people don't overdose on this drug because it kills people.
Yeah.
It's like, and this guy's also making a public scene. He's like he's trying to make public money off of this, and he's going against what the police are telling him to do. And what, like, it's one of those things where conspiracy can very quickly pop up, where it's like, yeah, this drug addict has relapsed again. Let's just slip him some fentanyl. Just like, you know, the Marilyn Monroe of it all, of like just, you know, OD them and nobody will ever know the difference.
Right.
So you of a drug addict ODs, nobody bats an eye, even if they're clean. Nobody bats an eye if they relapse.
Right.
But yeah, it's just I can see where there's a little bit of like, and questions can pop up, and that people could look to this and be like, how would this guy die? He's the one who's trying to help all of us. Like,
Right.
it's just a little too convenient that the guy who's trying to open up stores to publicly sell these drugs without your laws behind it winds up dead. Like, as soon as he makes it public that he's going to do this,
Right.
he winds up dead because he did it once and you stopped him, and he said he's going to do it again. And then he just winds up ODing on the one drug he's trying to make sure nobody else gets their hands on.
Yeah.
It seems like a very easy thing for conspiracy theorists to fall into.
For sure.
And yes, if this was an accidental overdose, this was like I've seen where addicts can get to a desperate spot. They can find a place where they're not thinking logically anymore, and they will use something without testing, without thinking, because they just need to get the fix.
Yeah.
So yes, there's always those worst case scenarios. This was just a horrible accident, and he was at a low point and didn't know what he was doing.
That's the thing about the nature of addicts that leads people to shed doubt on them. You know what I mean? It's like, well, they know if he gets in a bad enough spot, he's going to do whatever it takes, even if that is using dirty drugs or stuff that he knows ain't as good. Like, you ever heard the old adage, like, the roofer's house needs a roof, the mechanic's car's broke down, like, because you're so busy doing shit for other people, you don't feel like working on your own shit.
Oh, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And so, like, yeah, he might be 100% in making sure that everyone else and his customers are using clean drugs, but when it comes to him, he's using whatever's convenient, whatever's close.
And yes, that's
Possibly.
typical addict behavior. When you get into when you've relapsed that far and you just need it again, you're going to take whatever's available to you. So yes, that is a real possibility, but there's another little thing to his conspiracy like train of thought, to where this guy has been very public with his stuff, talking to Vice before, and this is where I'm getting this information from right now, is from Vice. But he's talking about how like the Canadian government hasn't really done much to help. And he's like, people are dying, especially now. They've allowed the entire province to do these drugs, but they provided no clean or safe supply. They're getting it from the same supply that everybody's overdosing from. Martin was previously tied up in a court battle for years after launching a constitutional challenge about Canada's cannabis laws, arguing that medical cannabis patients should be able to use dispensaries rather than mail order systems. So this guy's already been making headlines in the past. He's already challenged the government on their cannabis laws. He's already been making
Isn't
some
everything
ripples.
legal in Canada now?
It's to an extent. I could be wrong with that, but I think it's more or less like recreational. I'm not 100% sure on Canada's weed laws, and maybe it's province by province.
Yeah.
Because I was looking up some, America's, different state by state legislations and everything about how, different possession and distribution and weights are decriminalized. It's silly.
Yeah. it says what drugs are being decriminalized in Canada. This is as of March 7th, 2023. Opioids such as heroin, morphine, and fentanyl, crack, powder cocaine, methamphetamine, and MDMA.
Yeah, which is ecstasy and stuff like
Ecstasy,
that. Those
yeah.
are most kinds of drugs, like illegal drugs that you would typically think a drug dealer or a drug addict would use. They've kind of adopted the Netherlandic idea or the Amsterdam idea of like just make it all legal to an extent. But at the same time, just because you decriminalized everything, you didn't offer a safe alternative to it. You didn't give them a legal or like a regulated place to go get this now.
Right.
You just said, yeah, fine. If you're going to use it. Not our problem.
Right.
But they're like, okay, well, fine. We're going to keep using.
Yeah.
Yeah, fine. Cool. Now you just got a bunch of people dying in the streets.
Yeah.
And they're not going to be arrested for it.
Yeah. I know. It's a tough topic, man.
But yeah,
I can see it from both sides. I don't know what the solution is.
I don't either. And this guy was making waves. He was making some ripples. And this guy, I could see where this might have a target on his back. He may have pissed off the wrong people. I know this is Canada, but still, when there's money to be made, I mean, like people get greedy.
Yes.
And when it's a lot of drugs, and you're openly defying the government and the police, and you're publicly saying, "I'm going to keep doing this." It's just a little suspicious to me. I don't want to fan the flames of anything like that, but I was just reading through some of the comments on things and people's reactions to this. And yeah, like his partner's not pushing any kind of conspiracy theory or murder investigation type deal, but it's just, to me, it seems very sad or suspicious that this person, the person who just made headlines for this, drug store,
Right.
to OD on the one drug he's testing everybody for. The one drug that's really killing all of his friends and all of his customers, like, it's very silly. It's just very suspicious that would be the drug he ODs on.
It is suspicious. It is suspicious or ironic.
Yeah,
I don't know. One or the other.
Because it's one of those things. It's almost too perfect. No one would ever ask a question. Yeah, when it's too perfect, people ask questions. Things are never supposed to be too perfect. They're never supposed to just fit like a puzzle piece. So when things are just too easily explained away, conspiracy theories find their way in because people don't trust the government. They don't trust the news. They don't trust the headlines. So
no, imagine that. Right?
Yeah, sometimes they're just a bunch of shenanigans.
I don't know why. They're always just telling the truth.
Just a bunch of shenanigans out there.
Shenaniganators.
Man.
Just shenanigating the truth. That's what they're doing. But all right, guys.
Yeah, so I wasn't kind of trying to leave on a downer, but yeah, this was just a suspicious kind of follow-up on this guy's life here. So there might be some things that come out after this, but yeah, we'll see what Canada continues to do with their legalizing and decriminalizing of drugs. But
yeah, they're like an experiment up there. We're just watching.
But they're just gonna keep letting the Americans come up and test everything.
Yeah, exactly.
We're just gonna test it right next to the border.
Maybe a little bit in Michigan. It's fine.
Yeah, just push that right into Portland. Let's
you just went all to Ohio. Damn it.
Yep. Niagara Falls over the side.
There it goes. All right, guys. Over the rails, just like this show, as per usual, right?
Every time.
Well, guys, if you don't know what we're doing, don't know why this show's being all silly, it's because it's summer break. So we're doing headlines and shenanigans over the course of the summer. We will be back with regular TCG proper episodes on September 6th. And we'll be picking it up with some cult shit. Me and Andy are very excited to get back into that. So all of your regular TCG programming will come back the first week of September. And but who knows? Maybe this summer we'll surprise you with an episode here and there, a real episode. I've hinted that we kind of chomping at the bit, want to get back into some regular TCG episodes. So who knows? A few of those might pop up.
We have all these plans in the works and we have all these things we're trying to work on, but it's like, well, we want to get working on them and using. It's like, I want to use my toy, but I haven't got the toy yet.
Yeah, exactly. I don't
really putting the cart before the horse, so to speak, type deal.
It's like buying your Christmas presents and putting them away for 2 months.
Yeah, we're in the process. We're talking together about possibly renovating a new place and having a bigger studio area. But we're both just like, I can't wait to get in there and use all that stuff and get these new videos going. It's like, but we have to get that studio. We have to get the stuff, do the things first.
Yeah, there's
and
a lot of things.
Then you get it back into the studio.
Exactly.
We're just like, but we want to do it.
I know. But we got time. That's why this break is coming in handy. We can get some stuff settled away. And like Andy said, hopefully get us a a new studio space, a larger space where we can spread out a little bit. It'll be better for our YouTube videos, and who knows, maybe we can do some live musical performances and stuff because we'll have more areas to bring in the drums and guitars and amps and whatnot. So
give us a lot of room for shenanigans on JTB.
There'll be a lot of shenanigans on TCG, I think, in a bigger studio space for sure. So we're excited about the future, guys. Hang in there. I hope you guys are enjoying these headlines and shenanigans. And we'll see you next week with a new episode. Until then, I guess just keep creeping.
I think you probably should.
All right. We'll see you guys.
Bye. If you've enjoyed this episode, please feel free to check out all the other shows on our TCG network, as well as subscribing to our YouTube channel. Starting every Monday with new episodes of Strange and Unexplained, followed every other Tuesday by our audio drama podcast, Sandu Stories. Then, of course, new episodes of True Crime Guys every Wednesday. And if that's not enough, head on over to our Patreon, where you can have access to hundreds of hours of exclusive content, including older episodes, strange shorts, the latest edition of Sandu Stories, and, of course, higher thoughts. But until next time, guys, keep creeping.
You hush your mouth, boy.